Hey, what's up, Ming?
What's going on, Kevin?
It's been a run, Ming, honestly.
What do you mean?
It's over, man. It's at the end of an era.
Oh, you left?
Yep.
Well, why would you do that?
I don't think we were going to be able to resolve the issues in a way that made sense to me. And honestly, when everything played out and I brought up that issue with Future and I had that meeting with you, AK, and Forehead, and then you guys like immediately took the property, as it kind of rubbed me in like the wrong way, and I don't think I can like, I don't want to say I can't move past it, but I think it just kind of clicked in my brain that I didn't want to be a part of that if that's where our trust was. And you and I had this conversation before, and I understand the logic behind why those decisions were made. It's just not what I would have done and not really what I expected, just for speaking out against somebody.
Yeah, but how can you understand that that's what we would have done then, but not accept it or like not agree with it?
I mean, I accepted it because you guys were my leaders at the time, and I gave all the properties back without any issue, right? So I accepted that that was the decision that you made, but that doesn't change the way that I felt about it, you know?
I mean, I think the concern is, I mean, it's kind of like what I told you before, no? Um, with the whole shit with the farm shit,
Mhm.
I think that's the whole reason the properties got taken. It's not that we don't trust you. I don't think it was anything to do with that. Like, if we didn't trust you, you wouldn't have had them to begin with.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it's just more, ever since you kind of did what you did and locked everybody out of the farm, and the whole like everything just kind of stopped. No, would you not see that as like a normal thing to do? Take your take ownership of the properties that you know involve most of the gang shit. When something like the farming shit has been shut down and locked out of.
I talked about this with Smitty and Poe because those were the only two people that were like farming on a consistent basis. And listen, all the C's were in the building. They were just in one safe that they didn't have the codes to, right? But the way that sounds when you say it is like I took away things that everybody had, and I made it so that they couldn't open the door, they couldn't get in. It was like it would have been as simple as any of those people being like, "Hey, Kevin, can you give me the seeds so that I can do this for the restaurant or for the moonshine?" But like that just never happened. Everybody just assumed like ill intent, and it made it so that like I don't know, like it just felt like I wasn't trusted, and at no point did I feel like I deserve that like I don't know.
Where you at?
I'm doing a tow for. I'm doing a tow. Hello.
Yeah, you want to pick me up?
Hello, yeah, you're good. You're good to tow this.
All right, I'll pick you up. Where are you?
Come to
Mm.
Grove.
All right, I'll be there in.
Yep.
Yo.
So what was it? Was it your decision?
Well, to be honest, it felt like the writing was on the wall, and I was just like finishing the sentence. You know.
I don't know if that's a good way to go about things. I'm not gonna lie.
Um. When I like sat down and I had this conversation with like Poe and them, right, and I felt like out of everybody, Poe wanted me to like make it work the most. But when I thought about staying back and making it work, it was like less interesting to me than the possibility of starting over.
Wait, one more time.
The possibility of like fixing the problems with like future and like kind of the way things got handled. The possibility of fixing it was less interesting to me than the possibility of potentially starting over and just kind of doing my own thing.
Yeah, but when did you make that decision? Because I don't know. From what it seems like, I mean, I haven't fucking spoke to you, or I've just kind of got word from everybody else. But it sounds like to me you just been self sabotaging yourself, kind of looking for a reason to get kicked.
I mean, in my head, right? I had this issue with Future. We talked about it, and that was before all the seed shit had happened, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, like there was nothing that happened with seeds, and it was like from that you guys collectively decided to take the properties, right? And then it was after the properties had got taken, that's when I stopped like bothering to come around during EU, and like essentially being in the city 16 hours a day, slaving away for, you know, fucking farm money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at no point did I like envision this would be the path that we went down. It just so happened that it worked out that way because, you know, that's just, it's how things go. Like I can't change that. I can't change that feeling, you know? Like when you guys took the property, granted, most logical thing in the world, but it doesn't change that it felt like it was a punishment. It was like a step down for me, or a slight.
Why would that feel like a punishment to you?
Because of the way it happened. Like prior to that, I was like begging
Doesn't
people
that
to
just
take the
relieve you
properties.
relieve you to fucking stop paying bills and shit like that?
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
that do better for you than make things worse?
it
To not have the properties in your name?
listen, I asked for months to do it. It's just the only reason that the motivation came to do it was because of this whole me speaking out about Future. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it was the whole future thing. I don't think it was just that.
I mean,
If
that's
you
just
spoke
the.
out about future, that's one thing, but
I mean, that was the
I don't know,
timeline, though.
the way it seems like you're having a fucking mental breakdown. Like, would you not take the property out of somebody that's acting out that way?
I mean, to that point, what did I do though? Like at that point, I had an argument with Future that Forehead put me in. You know what I'm saying? Like he manufactured that circumstance, and to this day, I actually don't know if Future knows that I only did the shit that me and Forehead had agreed to do. And then I had the shit with the manor, the 200K, me retweeting the SpongeBob meme.
I mean, I don't even give a fuck about it. I mean, that is what it is.
I mean,
I wasn't around.
so that was the shit that happened that made people be like, okay, that's what, now we have to take the properties from Kevin. Now he has to get put in his place.
I don't think it's more about being put in your place. I think it's more reassuring to everybody else that's in the gang that we're not going to lose out on something. Because if, as much, you know, for as long as we've known you, I mean, you haven't, you know, you've done nothing wrong. Not wronged anybody, but I don't know, you never really, do you ever really fucking know somebody? How do I know you're not going to fucking flip out tomorrow and just take everything along?
Okay, so this is the way I explained this to AK, right?
And I get it, right? Like, I've known you for a long time. Chances are you're not going to do it. 99% chance that you're not going to fucking do it. There's always a chance that it could happen.
Sure. But like, why would me talking shit or having an issue with Future be the reason that happens? You know, like it'd be one thing if I had an issue with like one of the leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I woke up one day and I just decided, bro, I fucking hate, I don't know, AK or some shit like that. And like in that circumstance, he's a leader in this group, and I can understand why people would feel that way. But if I don't fuck with Future, who at that point was like a hang around, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because I think the way I can kind of see it as well is with me not being around so much past couple of weeks or whatever, and AK hasn't really been around. It's just been Forehead around.
Yeah.
So, and obviously there's more of a bias for him towards Future.
Yeah.
So does that not seem like, I feel like you're more likely to do something because it's Forehead.
I mean, at that point, right? Like the four of us had that conversation, right? And then you guys said that you would cook on like a punishment for Future, and then immediately after we went into a war with the Manor, right?
Hmm.
Which is like Christmas has come early for future type shit. Like I understand why that war erupted. Like I understand all the context, right? But I wait the week, which is like okay, fine. I gotta wait because other shit's happening. But when I left that meeting with you guys, I was under the impression that there would be like I don't know, like a fucking system in place. Like there would be like a plan to deal with these types of things in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like I had suggested, oh maybe Forehead doesn't deal with the future issues. That was like one of the things that could have been like a step in the right direction potentially. Later after the meeting, I kind of came to the conclusion that if you put him on like a 3 strike system, for instance, where if he fucked up big 3 times and at least 2 of the 3 member gang leaders agreed, then there could actually be like a fucking like serious problem there, right? But like when you
Didn't
came
I
back,
already tell you?
I mean, you came back and you
Like,
said sanitation, but like him and me doing sanitation is worse for me to do sanitation than it is for him, right? He doesn't give a fuck, but for me, it would ruin my like civilian rep with the other job that I have.
yeah, but I mean that's true. But do you think he wants to sit there and run fucking Sandy?
I think that. Okay, listen. I think if that were the situation, him and Daisy would do it, and it wouldn't make a difference to him. That's my honest opinion on it.
But I mean, does that matter? Like he's not. Yeah, maybe he can do it with Daisy, right? It's one thing. It's not like we're fucking slamming a punishment on him completely. But at least his punishment is still somewhat benefiting the game.
I think it's a
No?
good punishment. I think it's a good punishment just in a vacuum after like he's retweeting that the fucking Flippy is gonna shoot me type shit in front of everybody else in the city. Like that's where I feel like it's not enough. Or maybe it would have been enough if it happened, but it didn't even happen, right? It was like the promise of a future punishment. And then
Yeah,
like
because I mean, the way I'm not gonna punish somebody that's happened like. For me, it was something that happened like 2 weeks ago. Or
okay,
however long it was.
I mean for me it was like it happened, we went into a war, and then it stopped. Like the issue just didn't get resolved, but we ignored it because the war happened. But like he was the one who was inciting the war to begin with, so it felt like because he took the gang into a war, he gets to slide on his bad behavior. Does that like track with you? Does that make sense? Well, that might be a problem.
No, I get what you're saying, but I mean, it wasn't his choice. It was my choice to go and shoot them. You know that, right?
Yeah, but he was instigating that. Like he was texting people, he was calling people, he was on Twitter the day before. Like you didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like he did that. The call to actually shoot them, sure, that was you. But before that, he was kind of building up to it. No.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think there's always been a build-up between Manor. It's just going to happen at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to these guys about this conflict, and Sparky said word for word that he doesn't have an issue with anybody in the besties apart from Future. Like his entire gang. This was what I got, and this was like right before the shoot.
Let me ask you this: if
Yeah.
Future wasn't around, you think they would have a problem with anybody else?
No,
You think they would? You think they would try to find not find a reason, but you think they would pick somebody out and just say, "I got a problem with this guy." Everybody's got that one person in a group that nobody likes, no? Yeah, you can go through any fucking gang and you'll find somebody that you don't like.
Sure. I mean that might have been the case, right? But it doesn't take away from the fact that war just served as like, all right, now we're not going to punish him because the war happened. Meanwhile, like, I can't tweet out to generate business. You know what I'm saying? Like, him not being able to tweet out and me not being able to tweet out is like 2 vastly different punishments, right? He tweets out to talk shit. I tweet out because I'm trying to sell shit, get people to call me to do shit in the city. You know?
No, I get that.
The punishments just aren't the same for either of us, even if on the surface it's exactly the same.
I don't know. I mean, I can't do anything when I wasn't around for it.
Let me ask you, when that meeting ended, right? Like we had the 3 of us, the 4 of us had that meeting. Was there like were there conversations after to talk about like creating a more like fair, like a
I think
more fair system, or
Not really, but I feel like you kind of analyze shit way too much.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you think about shit way too much. Like why not wait till something happens and then go about it?
I mean,
Like,
I
yeah, you
did
can
though. I
plan
did.
ahead for it. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, I did though, Ming. I waited the week, and then you and me, Forehead, had that conversation.
I know. But what did Future do to you after that? After that conversation, what we had, what did he do to you?
Nothing. I didn't do anything to him. He didn't do anything to me. We both just
Exactly.
we just
So, like,
we just waited.
like, what was I supposed to do about that?
I mean, but when I left the meeting, I was under the impression that you guys were going to come back with like something for here and now, you know? Because I remember AK
Like what?
saying,
Like,
AK saying,
like what?
I don't know. I was expecting anything really, because AK said, Kevin, you're not seeing the conversations that we're having in the future, so you might feel like you're getting punished, but don't worry, we're also taking care of it on the other end. But on the other end, I don't think anything happened.
Yeah, but like, what? I mean, what did you expect? What did you actually expect to happen? After we
Honestly,
had that conversation, like, what did you expect to come out of it?
literally
Like,
anything.
I get,
Literally
like,
anything.
I get that anything could have. We can plan for shit. What's gonna happen if somebody fucks up? But if nobody fucks up, like, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but I didn't fuck up, but you guys still felt the need to take all the properties from me in that moment.
You, in a way, you kind of did fuck up. Can't lie. You
Uh,
gotta take some sort of responsibility for going around and calling people the same way Future. Huh?
All right,
Maybe
listen,
not to his
listen.
extent
Shit
where
talk in
you're tweeting
future.
out about killing people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Like going around to other groups and talking about the gang members' business. Like, surely you can see that as being somewhat fucked up.
Listen.
Like even Rami was calling me about you the other day, and I said nothing.
Yeah, Rami is the. I'm gonna be honest. Rami's like 60% to blame for everything. Honestly, bro has been stern since day number one. But that's just how Rami is, you know. And like, I can admit I was in the wrong. The one thing that I can admit is when they asked for ammunition on Future, me responding in that moment probably wasn't the best move, right? I can admit that. But it's not the best move only because the gang prizes that information as their information versus it being his information. And my
But
mistake,
also,
I didn't
okay,
understand
think
that.
about this as well, then, right?
Yeah.
So, if you never gave them that information, do you
Uh,
think that war would have happened as it?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if you think so?
Oh, 100%. They were already
About
going
the-
at it on Twitter for like an hour before I said anything to anybody. Future was texting James about Hydra get smoking them and shit, and how they're gonna get smoked again or something. Like the path had already been decided from my analysis of that situation.
Yeah, but do you think they would have been going at him as hard?
If it wasn't that, it would have been something else. That specific thing just makes him look stupid, which is why I think it hurts more. Like him leaving 200K on the ground or whatever the fuck happened, like anybody can make that mistake, right? But not anybody is gonna buy a house for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
But that's also why I took it as like this is this guy being an idiot in his personal life. That's not like it's not like he took gang money to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the gang gave him the okay, like go and do this. And additionally, like we argued about this in the middle of senior bunt, yelling, like actually yelling. So I was just treating it as like public intel.
Alright. So you're completely done?
Honestly,
I mean, like
Ming,
I said, like I've said before, if you want to go, you can go. That's just how I am, Everybody's kind of replaceable.
oh, 100%. And I think that like eventually there'll be another Kevin or Kevin-esque person in the group, and when the inevitable happens and future presses that person, I think it'll get handled differently.
You see what I mean? Like, I feel like you are letting future just live fucking run free in you. I feel like even when we have a conversation about me and you bring up future.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the symptom of like the problem,
Any
and I don't know the
conversation
way.
I've
I don't
had
know
with
the
you in
way.
the past week, you bring up future.
I don't know the way to articulate the problem because that's like the symptom, you know. It's the Iron Man effect. Like I don't know what to tell you, Ming. He's
Yeah,
unstoppable,
but I feel like you're
man.
like you're self-destructing yourself because of something what future's done. Like what? Okay, so think about what are you gonna do now? Once you're done, like what are you doing?
I'm going to live on the moon, Ming. That's why I got this outfit. Ford told me it's not going to be safe on these streets for me anymore.
What? So you want us to keep somebody's name on the property that says they're gonna go live on the moon? Does that sound like a normal thing to do to you?
I mean, this. I mean, we're like past that though, you know.
Yeah,
We're
but
like,
it's built up to this. So is it not a good thing that your fucking name got taken off the property?
I mean, it only got to this point because that was the response to me bringing an issue about future. At least that's how it plays in my head. Like, listen. In the grand scheme of things, right? It is better for me to not have my name on those properties because I know these guys are 100% running in all that shit with shit on their fucking back, shit in their hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, cop sits there. All my clean businesses get fucked by like all their like potentially illegal things in those properties. Like, I know, right? My problem is always how it happens. If it would have happened all the times I asked, it wouldn't have been an issue. It would have been me thanking everybody. But because it felt like you guys didn't trust me, then it doesn't really make sense for me. Like, it doesn't feel like it makes sense for me to be here.
I don't know why you don't think we don't trust you.
Ming, I went through like a week of people just talking shit and taking this property, that property, taking businesses. Like, what would you think if you were in my shoes?
I mean, that's fair. I would think the same thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You know, after weeks of trying to get rid of the property, but
Months. I tried to get rid of the property for months.
months. But I still think you gotta kind of assess the situation and realize this all happened because of how you reacted to future.
Yeah, this is the Iron Man effect. When he does something, it's just future being future, but when you respond to it, you got to be the bigger guy and you're the problem.
Well, no. I mean, wouldn't it be better just to not react to it?
100%. Listen, there's an adult in me somewhere behind this mask, this suit, and this helmet, but sometimes you don't want to be the adult.
You need to, yeah, but that doesn't. Listen, just because you react to it, even if like, you can still fuck with somebody without even reacting to it. Somebody like Future, if you're fucking around, if he's fucking around with you and you just ignore him and make small little comments and maybe not tweet it out, you probably piss him off even more. Like I feel like you went about it the wrong way.
I mean, you know those tweets bothered him. Like, they did.
I don't know if they did. I feel like you just kind of gave him what he wanted.
I don't know. Maybe. I take him as like a petty little narcissist. So if you speak about them publicly, that's like the biggest issue for them. But maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I think if I was like playing politics and I wanted to be perceived in like the most favorable light within the group, then yeah, tweeting out is not the move. 100%.
So what's the move now?
I'm not ready to start fucking.
I mean, we got to figure out what to do with the plaza because I tried to have a conversation with Forehead about it, but he was like, "I'm gonna pay you 600K for the properties, and or you pay $150,000 a week to operate." Now, I'll be honest, like the businesses make money, but 150K a week is like $600,000 a month, and it already costs like 250K just to own it and operate normal, like there's no way I'd be able to like make that work. So it feels like he's just trying to force me to sell it at like a discount. Because he said basically if I sold it to anybody who wasn't in the gang, then I'm just gonna get shot forever and ever. So it's not leaving me a whole lot of options, hence the spacesuit.
I'm not gonna lie. If I look at it, if I was in your shoes, selling it to another gang, it just ruins your reputation.
I mean, listen,
It fucks with you more. That's the way I see it. Like knowing that you go out of your way to sell it to another group out of spite, because that's how I'd see it.
I mean, listen, to this point, right?
I feel like it would fuck yourself over even more.
To this point, right? I have been nothing but like, I feel like I've been pretty good about things, you know? That you guys asked for your properties, and no point did I hold anything over anybody's head. I didn't try to leverage nothing, right? I gave everything freely. I didn't make an issue about it, right? And now at this like last little bit, it feels like he wants my shit to essentially fail, or he wants me to just pay more to the group, to a group I'm not in, than I otherwise would have paid had I remained in the group.
Well, what did you ask for?
I thought 50K a week could have been something that I could do, you know what I'm saying? Because 50K is like what I can make in a day. So if I work one day for like 8 hours farming, I can make $50,000, right? And then the other 6 days I could potentially be profitable. But he wants 50K per business. But some of these businesses only exist if I wake up to do shit. And if I'm not around to do shit, then it's not making any money. Like the mechanic business isn't even like fully functional now because I don't have a consistent material supply line. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm outsourcing it to other people, they're making like, I'm selling parts for $1,300 a set. It costs me $12.60 to make it. I make $40 per part that I sell to a mechanic through the shop. You know what I'm saying? Do you know, like, it's just not that much profit.
So what is your ideal outcome?
I mean, 50K a week would have been something that I could do. Like that made sense financially, right? That would have been my ideal outcome. I get it, you know, I'm not in the group anymore, but I'm not going to get fucking murdered forever and ever until the end of time for 50K a week, essentially, is what it worked out to, right? That would have been the ideal outcome. And if that wouldn't be possible, then I'm not opposed to selling it, but I feel like that property is worth north of $1 million, and I don't think Forehead wants to pay that.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of crazy. Huh?
I mean, now,
okay, if you didn't own the property and somebody offered that property for you for,
I would buy the whole strip if I could, just because it's near the apartments.
Fuck no, you would.
100%. Bro,
Fuck
I would buy Denzel's building right now for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. I'd buy that shit for $3 million right now.
The size of that building is like all your buildings combined. It's the biggest one on the strip.
Yeah, but there's two things, right? One is the farming. You get a full 8 plots in here, right? You can't do that in any of the other commercial properties. And then the second thing is all this shit is happening and already profitable before there's anything like for these commercial properties specifically. But like with all the business shit happening, it's around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point there's going to be some shit that goes in there that can't go in anywhere else. And then that building, instead of being worth $1 million, is worth 3, 4, 5 billion. Dispensaries could be a thing now.
I think you're looking at the numbers a little crazy. I feel like they're only worth more to you because you own them. Like, I don't know, from an outside perspective, looking at those buildings, they're now worth $1 million.
They're worth because you could farm in them. Like farming is the business. Farming is the business that makes it worth that, right? But if you couldn't farm in them, then I would agree. Like, kind of what I pay, maybe like a little bit because of inflation, sure. But one of these buildings, I bought it from Rick Pickle for like 600K. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that was like when the economy was smaller, when everybody had less money. It was like 2 months ago.
Okay, but let's say let's say those storefronts right there to the right by the clothing store.
Uh-huh.
Right? if they were available for purchase and all these stores behind us were available for purchase, would they still be worth 1 point something million?
You wouldn't be able to put so even with a basement. I don't think these buildings would be wide enough for a plus. These would be worth probably like. These are probably half a mil, 400K, 500K, because these are going to be like 400 square feet or some shit.
Yeah, 400, 500K, but not a million.
But these are like half the size of the other ones. Like, Ming, one of these buildings, I have 100 washing machines and 8 planter pots. Like, this shit is like, this is good real estate.
Yeah, but this is only valuable because of what you can put in the what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can put in the property and
Yeah,
what you
100%.
can do with the property.
100%.
If a random person came over and bought this shit, it's not worth a million.
I think only a farmer would buy this shit. Only somebody who's looking for farming out. Because like that's like the market, you know? Like those are the people who want commercial properties. Those are the people overpaying for warehouses. You know what I'm saying? Like it's those guys. Because that's where that money is right now. But that's not always going to be the case, right? Like eventually they're going to be other shit.
I mean, you think that's going to be the main? Well, I mean, look at all these storefronts here as well. No. What if they become available?
These buildings are good. I think these buildings are better than the ones over there because you might be able to get on the roof here and put a solar panel. I guess it depends, right?
Like, the property is only valuable to you.
I mean, it's valuable to me, any farmer, and in this moment, right? Like in the future, if all these properties came on the market at the same time and all that shit, then yeah, you're right. It's not worth that. Especially if they're identical to the ones over here. But we don't know like when that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Listen, you can name it Bestie Plaza or something. Oh, my dream dies too.
But
Oh, the dream of Kevin Plaza. I gotta go build a plaza on the moon now.
If you didn't fucking sacrifice yourself, you just absolutely fucking self-destruct.
You know, sometimes, Ming, you blow it all up for your principles. And to be fair, right? I did exactly what other people did, but when I did it, it just came across as a way the fuck course. Not sure why, but that's kind of how I perceive it.
Hey, what'd you say?
I like did things that other people did, but the irony was missed, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, to circle back on the subject that I love to talk about so much, but when somebody got demoted and disappeared for like a week, he came back and the result was his demotion just became cosmetic, right? But when I didn't even disappear. I just started coming around like the time that I would normally prefer to be around, and everybody freaked the fuck out. And then I got more shit taken from me.
But that's because you have more responsibility than future.
I also had more people under me that could have carried the slack, just chose not to. Instead, they just became fucking doomers.
I know, but did you ever tell them that? Did you ever tell those people to take over responsibility?
I told these guys to make sure you.
Expect them to do.
I had multiple conversations with certain people, and at any point they could have said, "Hey, Kevin, what the fuck?" And nobody said anything, and I was like, "Yeah, listen, I'm not farming that much. Deal with it." And it just never got dealt with. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get us stuck here. Fuck. I can get us out.
It's like saying Future owned the food stall. If he owned it, and then he had nobody that could open up the fucking stall, and then he just You know, you'd never give access to anybody to open up a stall. You don't think you'd have the same problem?
I mean, that's different, right? Like, if people don't have access, they don't have access. But if people can pick up the phone and make a call to anybody in the Yellow Pages to get some ingredients, like, I feel like that's a solvable problem, no? I mean, do you disagree with that? Like,
In a sense, yeah.
wait, why?
I don't know, man. I just think you just handled everything completely fucking wrong.
Listen, I do admit I could have handled it better. I 100% could have handled it better. I had it in me. I had the capability. I just chose
Because
to.
I mean, think about this is another thing as well. Like, okay, so you say you felt like, what'd you feel like when you got your property when the properties got taken away from you? Like people didn't trust you, or
Nope. That they assumed malicious
now
intent.
if if they started going to somebody else for ingredients, would that not make you feel even worse about it?
No. I fucking hate farming that shit, man.
But you just said you didn't even want to own the properties.
Wait, I didn't want to own the properties?
Yeah, you didn't want the properties for months. You wanted to get rid of them.
Yeah. But people getting rid of it because, like, Kevin doesn't want to own it is different than people getting rid of it because they're afraid that Kevin is gonna fucking sneak all the fucking GPUs. You know what I'm saying? It's not what happened. It's how it happens.
Yeah, but as long as you got what you wanted, then why does it matter how it happens?
Nah, I mean, but life doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how it happens is important.
I don't think so. As long as you get the result you're looking for, then why does it matter?
I don't know. There are probably countless examples where that we can get into about like why that doesn't hold. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want $1 million, but do I want to steal $1 million from an orphanage? Probably not.
Yeah, one's illegal.
You know, do I want to like run a business and have people around me who are capable and reliable, or do I want to like run a business where everybody always depends on me, and the second I decide that I want to prove a petty point, the whole thing comes crashing down and it escalates into the greatest fucking crash out in the history of Los Santos.
I don't think you can do this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what happens and how you get there matters. Gonna miss my Pinto.
See? Would you prefer to walk all the way to the fucking car rental spot or steal one?
I mean, I would have walked it. I didn't mind. You know, I'm wearing a spacesuit. I wasn't gonna get wet in the rain, but because I have somebody else here who is gonna get wet in the rain, then yeah, stealing one's probably the better play.
But still, we got the same result. We're in a fucking car, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I agree with this particular pound, so I don't have anything to say here. What do you think the properties are worth?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you do with the properties. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I know later on there's gonna be more different properties.
Yeah.
The only reason I want the properties because they're on the turf. But I'm not gonna go to the extent of paying fucking $1 million plus for a box.
All right. Well, what about the
The only
tax
reason
then?
it's the only reason it's worth so much is because you know you farm out of it, and
Yep.
obviously, as you've shown, without you there, it's fucking worthless. What's the point of me buying a fucking $1 million box that's not even operable?
All right. So what would be a fair tax then if you guys don't want to buy it, or if you don't want to buy it?
Fuck. I mean, I don't know. It depends. Depends on what everybody else agrees to.
I mean, because listen, 150K is just like it's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not worth operating the business to pay $150,000 for nothing a week.
Well, what businesses are you gonna have there?
I mean, I was gonna have a farm and the mechanic shop,
Okay.
and then the rental farm that it has tenants when it has tenants, and when it has tenants, it makes good money. But if there's no one there, then it doesn't make anything.
But you can see how. Okay, so I mean, the farming's like one thing, but I don't know if the mechanic shop's gonna work.
Yeah, but the mechanic shop doesn't make anything. It makes $40 every part that gets applied.
I know, but ever since you've been gone, I mean, we got new plans now. Like I was telling you earlier, there's everybody's replaceable.
Yeah,
So now I gotta go out of my way to open a fucking mechanic shop at my spot
that's a good
because
spot
you
for
fucked off.
it. I mean, that's a good spot, Loki. Like, you already have like the garage to pull in.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even really interested in the money. For the, I mean, how much are seeds worth?
I sell seeds 50K a pop. Pretty much anybody. And I'll sell
Right, and
multiple
how many
seeds
how
if
many
people
seeds you
want.
got?
I mean, I have all the moonshine ones, but I
What
have all
about
the moonshine
the?
ones, and I have the ones for the smoothie stall. But I don't know what I have left over from the actual ramen business.
Can you get the ones for the ramen place?
I could grow. See, I understand the genetics well enough that I can just grow the seeds again if I wanted to. It's just a time commitment thing. And
You're gonna be doing it anyway. Now you're gonna be
if it was
growing
worthwhile,
farming anyway.
well, I don't have a customer for like the radishes and the like onion garlic, right? If I had a customer for it and like then it might be worth it. But a part of me also doesn't see myself sitting there for like days and days, weeks and weeks, farming for like $10 a slice, you know?
I don't know. I gotta think about it. This whole tax shit.
Your horn is horning, BCS.
I'm what it's worth to everybody.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the comp. What'd you say?
I gotta figure it out more. I gotta like think about it. On what the tax is worth. I mean, I prefer to get the actual fucking seed as a tax than weekly payments or monthly payments or whatever the fuck it is. But maybe Forehead and AKC it differently. So
Yeah, I mean, the conversation I had with Forehead really felt like he was pushing me into an impossible situation so that I just sold him the property. Well, it'd be a loss.
I mean, I see it from your side too. Don't get me wrong. Like, the thing is, if you lose those buildings, like, where the fuck do you operate out of?
Oh, what do I do? Like, when I wake up, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. So I can understand why you put such a big price tag on them, but I'm not gonna pay that kind of money for it. Whereas I prefer to get I don't know. I think the seeds are worth more to me than they are for fucking weekly payments.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Maybe
seed tech is
even,
valuable, but I don't know if they're gonna see it that way.
Which property is it that you rent out?
The middle one, the red one, I think.
How much do you rent it?
Oh, they pay they pay by the grow. They pay $8,000 a grow.
Okay, what about the other buildings? What do you do with those? All farming as well, other than the mechanic one?
I mean, I only have one other building, the
These-
sneaky one. The sneaky one and the Thor one. But see, the thing about the Thor one is, if these guys decide that they don't want to operate anymore, like the people who have been here, then there's no value generated in it. And like the biggest customer I had, they recently acquired a commercial property. But that doesn't mean I can't get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I could build this business if I like waited it out. Plus those guys might grow and they might have more people. You know what I'm saying? So there's still potential with it. It's just not like a guaranteed thing.
Well, how much do they pay you?
Well, so their grows will generate like $20,000 in or 30,000 in profit, and they'll pay me like a percentage, right? And the percentage works out to like 8K, 6K a grow. I think it's like 6K a grow. So they haven't done. Actually, I'll tell you. It looks like they've done 3 grows since yesterday, which would be $18,000 generated.
All right.
But, this
What
property.
about like? Okay,
Yeah.
so what about like instead of paying tax, which I can't guarantee, obviously without
Talking to
talking to
everybody.
forehead and shit.
Yeah.
But what about if you grow the seeds that we need, at least one seed, so we can
Uh-huh.
fucking clone it and get everything that we need running for the stall?
Uh-huh.
And instead of you paying, are you gonna be using this early times,
No, probably not.
like the storm before?
No,
What
probably
if
not.
everybody has access to it? The people that need to grow for now,
To this
so they can get
building?
another spot, whichever one.
Probably next door, because this building I have like washing machines and shit. Not
So people like Poe and
Smoke Smitty.
Poe and his girlfriend can fucking grow shit
Yeah.
in the early times.
Alright, so that would be the tax then. They just use the facilities for free, and I give them the seats for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. During EU, I can do that.
All right. And then if any other properties come available, we'll figure out something out. If
Yeah.
we can if we can find another property that we can move you out to, how about that?
Yeah, if there's a commercial property and we could do like a swap or some shit, I would be down actually. Especially if there's
Alright.
another plaza that I can run my whole plaza vision through, then yeah, I got a deal. That's a deal, 100%.
I got to talk to everybody.
All right.
But I think I don't know if you can agree to that. I think we'll be good. If we can get every seed that we need.
Yeah,
then
I mean, I'll sit there and
the
I'll
farmers
go.
can use the shit.
Yeah, like I will. If these guys aren't gonna fuck with my business and blah blah blah, and I can operate at least in the interim, I'll do all the research. Like even if the seeds died, right? Like I'll sit there and I'll do the research to regen new seeds. You know what I'm saying? Because I have the advantage of like understanding the genetics now, whereas before I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, right? And so I had to sit there and try and fail over and over. But like I can get back there. It would just take some time. So I'm willing to put that time in if it's like something that everybody can agree to.
All right, I'll talk to them about it.
All right.
Then I'll get back to you.
All right.
Maybe I don't know when I'll be able to talk to them, but I'll figure it out.
All right. So I'm gonna
Don't
just
flip out and, fucking say some outrageous shit.
all right. Yeah. I mean, I think everything else is still like, like I'm still out. But I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna
okay.
like stoke the fire. I'm not gonna sell the property to other people. Like I was baiting for it a little bit because he was pissing me off 20 minutes into the conversation, but I'm not actually gonna do that. I would rather have a deal done, clean, and over with than go down that route.
All right.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go to sleep anyway.
All right. Well,
But-
keep me posted.
Yeah, I'll let you know.